What's up? This is Andrew W. Boss and the motherfucking Boss Crew, and these are tour crazy horror stories, I guess. We'll start with this story. We were heading out to meet up with Head PE, and we were in our old bus, Lorraine, and we were going through Price Canyon in Utah, and it was the middle of the night, and all of a sudden the road disappeared and turned into a river in front of me. Turns out there was a giant mudslide that covered all lanes of the highway and went off the side of the mountain. And all of a sudden there was just rocks and a river and a giant tree, and we ran over this tree.
75 miles an hour.
In our bus.
No, it was
With a trailer.
It was at least
definitely 75 miles an hour.
It was at least. And the whole bus, I don't know how we made it or didn't crash, but this tree went right in front of us, hit the tree, went over the tree. Everybody flew up. Our old drummer Corey, he's a big guy. He's a big, fluffy guy.
6'5", 350.
In the bunk in the back, flew up to the top of the ceiling and down, and we immediately parked after that. We were like, this is no good. And they had the whole canyon shut down for a couple days to clean up the mudslide, but it just, there was road and then there was no road. It was a river. It was the craziest thing ever. And I was so scared I couldn't even sleep after that.
It's like being electrocuted. You just,
There's nothing you can do. You just go through it. You can't swerve a river.
Right,
What the
yeah.
hell are you gonna do? So another crazy story. This is a kind of a different crazy story. We were up in Montana, and I think you'll remember this. Let's mention it.
We were opening for Non-Point.
Yeah, we got done. We went out to eat, and we were eating at this Denny's or something like that. And the girls that were there recognized us, so they came over, and she says, "I got the craziest tattoo you ever seen." You remember what it was?
They were making her friend show us her tattoo. And it's pretty sweet. Back in the day when everybody used to get the tramp stamps, all the girls had tramp stamps. Yeah. Well, this one was particularly fancy because in the tribal tattoo tramp stamp, in the center of it, a lot of them have, their little designs, maybe Chinese, whatever crap or something, some fancy thing in the center of the deal. This lady had a 96 Grand Prix. Silver. Not souped up. Not super fancy.
No.
A 96 Grand Prix.
This is legit.
Google the car.
And you can tell exactly what it was. It was a nice tattoo. The tattoo was quality. A weird pick on the car, but...
Excuse me, it was a Grand Am. Grand Prix is actually a little bit nicer car. The Grand Am's a lower model.
It was a Grand Am. And there was like, if I remember right, there's like a little bit of like sunset behind it and shit.
It was great.
It was
great.
Tattoo
They were laughing and giggling about it, and I was like, yeah, not in a million years would I think that you had a Grand Am tattooed on this.
And I think we told her that day, we will never forget this. And here we are. Here we are right now telling the story.
Years later, yeah.
It wasn't as bad as the tattoo. We were in Salt Lake City, but this lady had a dong on her chest, right in between the two giant. She was a pretty big gal. She had a dong right in the middle of her chest, pointing up, like probably one of the. I mean, it was great detail. The artist put great detail into that.
Right. It was a good prison tat. It was a good prison tat.
Yeah, like a big.
And nice.
Thing was the full chest, dong sticking up.
Is ejaculating.
Shooting sperm up towards her mouth.
Full fountain.
Full fountain.
And she was so excited to show us.
She was very proud of that tattoo. She was.
I think she was there with her kids. I think like she had older kids.
Yeah.
And it was not a secret.
No, she was very proud of that. That was the weirdest tattoo I've ever seen.
When we're on the road, we run into all sorts of crap. Car
Going
accidents, we see all sorts of weird stuff on the road. And one time, we stopped a forest fire.
Yeah.
Coming up, was that in Florida?
It was in Flagstaff.
Arizona. Some guy was driving with his chain and lit all the brush up along the side of the deal, so we had to hop out and
had the fire extinguisher
get
out, had a shovel, trying to put it out. Yeah.
Put this forest fire out, and then that was pretty crazy.
We probably saved 1 million people's lives, I think.
A million.
Sure. So in Alabama, we go cruising down the road, and a car had jumped the road, and
the median's just a big ditch. The median's just a big like jump. So like a freaking jump.
It had jumped, turned over, and was caught in the brush. It's so thick in Alabama, like it literally caught the car midair.
Yeah, in the marsh.
So we pulled over.
Luckily it caught the car.
We jumped out, go and check on the guy, call 911, all this kind of stuff.
Turned out he was all right. His dog was all right. Well, it was crazy because I was laying down in my bunk. Flip stops. He's driving. He gets out and goes to check something. Adam starts yelling, there's a wreck or something like that. He goes running down, and I hear gunshots. Because I'm a superhero, so when you hear gunshots, you run towards the gunshots. So of course that's what I did. But turns out that the other cars on the highway were running over pieces of this guy's car, and it was just going like pop, pop, pop. And so I panicked. I go over there. He's in the marsh with no shoes on, trying to like.
I went in the marsh with my flippy floppies, and probably in Alabama, southern area, I probably shouldn't be walking through there with shoes on, let alone flippy floppies. I lost both my flippy floppies. Luckily, there was no snakes.
Yeah.
Or gators.
We thought about snakes afterwards, but you know, we were like, is this guy, if we're gonna roll up there, is this guy dead? Are we gonna have to drag him out of this car?
Yeah. Luckily, he was all right.
He's all right. We talked him and.
Turned out okay. Yeah. I thought they were gunshots though, so full panic on my part. We're running like gunshots. But yeah, we got endless stories. Tons of stories. It goes on and on and on. Lots of breakdown stories. We've replaced everything on both buses, like anything you could think of that has broke. Everything. We've gone through multiple alternators. We had this bus and the last bus. We had to undo the alternators, rewire them, and then rewire them to the engine just so we could keep going. So we do stuff like that all the time, which sucks. But just the fact that we figure stuff like that out keeps us on the road, keeps us going to shows, and so you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? You run into crazy shit.